under pressure. Peachy be the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme, you know what I mean? Add the boy Breezy, Prince, like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure, the number one team. Let the world know what's your fantasy. Oh, that intro got like a bop to it. I just be sitting there and get my jam on, Peachy. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's really crazy because you put this bop together in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's like it took me 30 minutes.
Sometimes they say, that those are the best ones, the ones that, you just have in your head and you just throw it down.
Yeah, I was like, we need an intro for this show.
You did your thing on that.
Appreciate it. Welcome to What's Your Fantasy Show. Fantasy football for me, after 2 weeks, makes me want to just throw it all away.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
throwing the towel.
But Peachy, why me? Now listen, there's some injuries that have gone down.
Mm-hmm.
The Aaron Rodgers injury out for the season. The Nick Chubb's injury out for the season.
Yeah.
You do know that was my quarterback and my running back, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And here's the thing, man. I don't even care about fantasy football, man. I want the players to be healthy. But I mean, we do play the game, right? We do play fantasy football. And those were guys I drafted. And man, this is going to be a crazy season. What's going on, everybody? I see Mike Ings out in the building. Big Daddy Niners is here as well. Let's go ahead and recap.
Yeah, it's been it definitely has been a rough go. And finding players, because what happens is you have like this catch-22. When it comes to the waiver wire, if your team is doing enough, you know what I'm saying, to be able to, like win or whatever, then like the players that you want that you put in for the waiver wire, you're probably not going to get them. So it's like you have to suck in order to get, these players off the waiver wire.
That is true.
And that was frustrating for me today because I had put in some waivers yesterday on some players and I didn't get any of them. And I was mad. And then my league chat had the nerve to be like, what are you complaining about? You're 2-0. I'm like, that has nothing to do with it though. I'm trying I need a running back. I could use another wide receiver just because, I don't know, the wide receivers have been up and down. Like everything's just up and down. It's topsy-turvy. I could actually use a quarterback because I'm about done with Burrow.
I mean, Burrow, Deshaun Watson, they could all go in the trash can for all I care,
This is already starting out to be a weird year.
Justin Herbert. Wait, no. Let's finish talking about the quarterbacks that are just trash to me. Justin Herbert's trash.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence was trash, especially last week, right? These were the top quarterbacks. From now on, Peachy, I'm drafting rookie quarterbacks that are starting for their teams.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be my next wave of how I draft players because
sounds like a plan.
Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes' trash ass too. Like these quarterbacks are Jalen Hurts trash.
Yes. Facts. You're
you know who's probably the number one quarterback in fantasy football right now? Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk mother freaking Cousins.
That's right.
Who would have ever thought Kirk Cousins would be a top fantasy football quarterback?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Everybody was looking at Pat Mahomes and just the usual five. Josh Allen. Josh Allen's not even.
Oh my God, Josh Allen. How can I forget him?
Josh Allen.
Yo.
It's like all of the top quarterbacks, like they're not. So then you have the ones that are, that nobody expected to. Those are the ones who are doing something. What I was going to say is that this reminds me of the COVID year. Like when we had it was crazy. Like fantasy, it was was so hard.
That's when you really learn how to be a general manager.
That's right. Yes, you have to just wow. It was crazy. But yeah, these I don't know what's going on with these quarterbacks. And then let's talk about how Pat Mahomes is just being average at best. And he just like is fixing to start making like $70 million a year.
Listen, you want to talk about him? Joe Burrow just became the highest paid quarterback.
He
in
was,
the league, and now he don't know how to complete a pass.
Right.
So he broke.
And he may not even play the next game. So we don't know.
Oh, God,
the Bengals are keeping it close to the vet. It sounds to me like that they might hold him out. Apparently, they should have just held him out until he was ready. Maybe maybe they were right when they were saying, that they needed to hold him out. Like Chase was saying, if he's not back till like week 4 or 5, maybe he knew what he was talking about. Because he has been just complete trash ever since the season started.
All right. So, and the thing I like about this show, right, is that the people that actually play the game, like play fantasy football, like they legit feel our pain. They legit feel the vibe that we are feeling right now. Niner Cali boy, what up, baby? He said, I'm about to bench Burrow for Richardson, pending concussion. Bro, that's another thing. Like, if I had Richardson on my team, I would definitely start him, but I don't know if he's gonna clear the concussion protocol.
Right now, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good at all.
It's not looking good for Richardson.
It's just tough, and he is my backup. Damn it! Okay, so look, I got a question, Peachy. So I dropped Deshaun Watson in every league.
Yeah.
Every league, his ass is back to the waiver. You can have him. If he turns out to be good, oh well. Kudos to him. I'm about to pick up that old Cleveland quarterback, Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is about to be, I don't want Daniel Jones anymore. Especially this week.
Yeah, you definitely don't want Danny Dimes this week. If you get him, you just have to see like later on. But Baker is shocking people. Like he's starting to get in there with Tampa Bay. Now it could be the defense that he's playing against, because as you know, fantasy is all about matchups. So it just depends on that. Yes, Lamar Jackson is also another one.
They all trash.
Like I said, your usual suspects. I mean, all of them are underperforming, and that sucks really bad because of that. So Madison, I heard a lot about Madison going through our NFL league chats. That might be why they're going after Akers. Maybe they don't believe in Madison.
I don't think it's that. I think if you watch the way that the Vikings are dumb as fuck, because they should have just paid Dalvin Cook.
Yes, you're right. They should have.
Like, you can't have, and this is the gripe that I have, you can't have a top running back, and then when they want to get paid, you don't want to pay them.
Right.
Just because they may get injured, or they may get this, or they may get that. To me, that's dumb. The 49ers organization might be the smartest damn organization. They didn't give two flying fugazies about Christian McCaffrey's injuries in Carolina.
No.
They got him in the book. And then not only did they get him in the book, Peachy, and trade for him, they decided to say, you know what? I could tell you right now, Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to practice one day of training camp if they didn't give him a guaranteed money. I can tell you that right now. They decided to give him guaranteed money on his contract so he could make money. Like I'm telling you, and now they're using him, right? They're using him. I don't understand teams, yo.
Yeah.
And these teams, look, you got the bread. Stop being cheap. If your running back gets hurt, then he's hurt. Hit the waiver wire. Damn, y'all don't want to pay these running backs. They bust their butt. They play all games. Saquon Barkley out with an ankle injury.
Yep.
Y'all didn't want to pay him. Y'all got to give him a 1-year deal. Who's next to go down? Josh Jacobs, because he signed a 1-year deal? Like, what's going on? I'm sorry. I know this is not that show. But what I was gonna say about Madison, because you brought up maybe they didn't believe in him. I don't think it's that they don't believe in him. He's just not a running back one. And so he
Right.
needs to spell, or somebody needs to spell him, or whatever it is. But Cam Akers is no Dalvin Cook.
Oh no, of course not. Mm-mm. Yeah, he's definitely not. Just like I said, the only reason why that they're bringing him in is because he's just back with his old coach that he had when he was in
Oh
LA.
yeah, when
So,
that's good. Yeah, that's right. That's
hmm
right. O'Donnell, right?
so
Quest
that's why
forty
they're
six
doing
wants
that.
to know our concerns about the Thursday night game coming up. I believe. Um, what are your concerns about this game?
I mean, I don't really have any concerns about this game. I think that this game is that the 49ers are going to win the game. And I don't feel like they're just going to barely win it. I feel like that the spread, which is at 10.5, of course, I think that we're going to do a lot better than that. We should, because the Giants are missing. So, like, every person that the Giants are going to be missing is important. And I
Yeah,
went on the Giants pages. The fans are just like, oh my God, I can't believe we even have to play this game. Why are we going out there playing? So
because it's on the
they,
schedule.
yeah. So they're like, I just want to get past this game and then see what's, whatever. So they're already, like mentally broke down. Like, I can't believe this. Saquon, as you know, is out. If anyone didn't know, it was made official today. So a lot of people thought that he would wait until, like the game time decision, but nobody was dumb. Like, everyone knew that Saquon wasn't playing. They just knew it. Whether the coach was trying to do all he could to, keep it at whatever, like no, I'm sorry.
I think he would have kept it going if he would have had like if Andrew Thomas would have played or something like that. But four key pieces to their team is going to be
Right.
missing. As far as concerns, the only thing I'm concerned about Quest 46 is the Niners not beating themselves in this game. Like, don't
Yep.
overlook the
That's always
Giants.
good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't
Mm-hmm.
overlook them just because they're beat up and bruised,
Mm-hmm.
but go out there and do your damn job. Like, if they do that, they
Right.
should be just fine. So, but they can beat themselves. They can cause a lot of penalties. They can inflict those self-inflicting wounds on themselves and find
Yeah.
themselves struggling against a one-on-one team that should be 0-2. Like, let's just keep it a buck. They should have
Right.
lost to the Lions.
We
I
have,
mean, to the Cardinals.
yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of the Cardinals and talking about beating ourselves, we've done that with the Cardinals before, where the Cardinals
Absolutely.
have been missing a whole lot of
A little
players.
different though, Peachy, because that's a divisional team.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. But you know what? The Giants and 49ers, they're tied in the rivalry, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think it's 22 games apiece. I
Mm-hmm.
think the Niners have scored maybe like 100 extra points. Like this, it's always a close game. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's a weird
Yep.
game.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the ones I actually had questioned on my joint. Now the Cowboy wants to know, you think we not seeing Elijah Mitchell to cut his costs?
Mm,
I,
I mean, I don't think that's it. I think, in my opinion, that Mitchell is. I still think Mitchell's on the mend. And I think the 49ers know. Because you got to remember, okay, so every year when we start Mitchell, what happens? In the first couple of games, he gets hurt. And I think the 49ers were trying to be extra, extra careful with Mitchell. Kyle even said he's got to find ways to get him out there, which means I expect to see some Mitchell on Thursday.
but
I
that's
would
bullshit
expect
though, because
right,
for the coach to say you gotta find, how do you gotta find a way to put a
right.
running back in the game? That doesn't even make any sense.
And who, not to start nothing, but who is the last person that Kyle Shanahan said that about?
Mm.
The newest member of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, Trey Lance.
When he said, I have to find ways
Maybe
to
he's
get him
gonna
involved
maybe he's gonna
on
be
the field.
maybe he's set up for trade bait,
I mean,
and so you don't
I'm
want to
just
utilize
saying.
him. But then why? Why dress him, and why not just dress TDP?
Right.
And this could be this could be it, right? I think Mitchell is not being utilized.
Right.
There's a possibility that he'll get traded.
Mm-hmm.
There's teams that are going to need running backs. See what's happening right now. If you're the Cleveland Browns, would you call the 49ers for Elijah Mitchell? I would.
Tell you what.
They signed Kareem Hunt, right? Speaking of Kareem Hunt, make sure you guys check out Kareem Hunt. Pick him up. He's
Yep.
going to be available.
If you can get him.
If you could get him. But Elijah Mitchell might be, and that's the thing. The Niners are a gold mine. Anybody would want to trade for a player from the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
The Niners are stocked. And then if they did trade Elijah Mitchell, I guarantee you TDP will become active.
Oh,
and they'll just keep trending the wheel.
And they'll bring in one of these running backs that's out there. There's a couple of running backs that are running around the league trying to get jobs.
Yeah, like James Robinson.
Right.
You got those guys out there, man. There's some.
And I tell you what, man, I thought James Robinson was going to be.
He was supposed to be a Giant, Peachy. Wait, Peachy. He was with the Giants and got released.
I know.
Over Matt Breida?
I really thought that Robinson was going to be something like huge. Is he coming? He had that moment in Jacksonville.
Okay, but he got injured. So is he coming off of an injury?
That must be why.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember like when he did, but I liked Robinson.
James Robinson was a monster, but they drafted Travis Etienne.
Yes.
And then they couldn't figure out how to utilize the two running backs
together,
in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my question is this.
Yeah.
Do I pick back up Deshaun Watson? I think I cut him. That's why he available. Ain't nobody touched him. Do I grab Mac Jones or Baker Mayfield and cut Daniel Jones? Mac Jones got to play the Jets defense.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Howell got to play Buffalo defense.
And that Jets defense is going to be angry because they just got.
Wait a minute. They all good defenses. Hold on. Baker Mayfield got to play Philly defense. Their defense is still good. They got that secondary. Darius Slay is nice.
Yeah, I do.
And then Deshaun Watson, if I pick him up, I got to clear waivers. When's September 23rd?
Saturday. Wait.
I don't have to watch
Saturday.
On. So he won't clear till Saturday because I dropped him. That's why. But they play Tennessee, and that's a tough defense too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So. All right, you know what? Bump it. I tell you what. Do I start Russell Wilson over Daniel Jones?
Who does Denver play?
Hold your horses. That's what I like about fantasy. We just get up here and talk about our teams. They want me to sit Jordan Addison because they're playing the Chargers. The Chargers suck.
Denver and Joey Bosa's not even practicing. They don't even know whether Joey is going to be out there or not. And there's another one on their defense that they're not even sure.
So Fantasy Pros is telling me to start Daniel Jones over Russell Wilson. Just want y'all to know that. I'm talking trash about him. Even if I want them to sponsor us, but I'm going to tell. Like I don't get that.
Who does
they play? They play Miami.
Oh.
It's all tough defenses. So I think the reason
that might be why.
But you want Daniel Jones to play against the Niners, D? Make that make sense, Cletus. Come on, Cletus. All right. Well, you know what? We'll come back to that.
They probably feel because the last time that the 49ers faced Daniel Jones, he kind of ran all over us just a little bit. And his fantasy stats were actually really good.
Because and so here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. Mike made mention of this today on No Harm, No Foul. Mm-hmm. He said that Daniel Jones is probably going to have tons of passing yards with an extra 150 rushing yards and possibly 2 TDs because they're going to be trying to play catch up. So maybe he's right.
Right.
Man.
That's true.
What was All right. Let's get down to some stuff that's on the show. Guys, if
Yes.
you have any advice that you want, go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll go ahead and star it.
Yes.
Let's go to the injuries because we were talking about it. Austin Eckler, ankle injury. Is he still going to be out?
As far as I know, I didn't see a new update on him.
They killing me, Smalls. They killing me.
And they're wanting him to go with what's his name? Joshua Kelly.
No, he's trash. He is not a running back one. You know how I know? He was high on the waiver wire last week.
He was.
So I picked his ass up. And what happened? He got me 2 points.
It was that
4
other
points.
that other running back. For some reason, they had some kind of weird idea
What?
that they were going to go with the one behind him.
Who's the other one? That's the one I need.
It's which is crazy because Joshua Kelly was the one that I thought was going to be good.
Joshua Kelly is a good spell to. Oh, and that's Patabo's question, right? Patabo, I'm starting Zach Woods. Period. End of discussion. Zach Woods at least got me 10 points. You know what I'm saying?
Something, yeah.
Yeah, like Zach Woods over Josh Kelly. Now, who did we say that the Chargers were playing?
It's okay. So the one that I'm talking about is Elijah Dotson.
Who the hell is that?
Did better than Joshua Kelly.
Whoever that is, get him. Oh, this is why Mike. Mike, you are.
Understand it. It didn't make any sense. I was like, what?
Mike,
Why?
you're one of the greatest people on earth. He says he is watching this show off of straight pure love. And he said, this is why I don't do fantasy football. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And you know what? This is why people were dogging the Chargers. Now that I'm looking at these stats, none of their running backs did good.
And
that's what they were trying to say. So the Chargers were bad because they had like 1 carry for 3 yards,
right.
2 carries for 6. Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Let's ask this question, right? Because you know how people be saying like, "Oh, if you got this type of quarterback, you don't got to run the ball." Notice how all the quarterbacks we're mentioning, except for Jalen Hurts, has. Hey. That just came on out of nowhere.
I don't know.
You can't hear nothing?
No.
Oh, you know why? My video just finished uploading. It just finished exporting.
Everybody's probably like, what is he chanting?
Yo, that junk in my ear like, ooh. Ooh. All right. So I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, all those quarterbacks we mentioned, they all their running games suck right now.
Yes.
Except for Philly.
Right.
So I wonder if that's part of the reason why they're not flourishing. Like Isaiah Pacheco, he ain't it in Kansas City. They need to get back to Clyde's Hilaire Edwards, whatever his name.
I don't know what he did, but
he screwed somebody's mama baby
Kyle
sister.
has his doghouse. Andy Reid has his doghouse too. He's probably in Andy Reid's doghouse because he's just sitting on that team chilling.
Yo, he must have did something to somebody. You know what I mean? Something to somebody. Tommy T Money reacts. Why couldn't we be in this league? 8-man PPR, 2 flexes, Fields, Jacobs, Kyron Williams. I don't know who that is.
Who? Kyron Williams?
No, AMST.
Oh yeah, who is that? Oh, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh man, that's the dopest fucking abbreviation I've ever seen.
It
in my
is.
life.
It's
like,
really awesome.
I was gonna be like American Express Stop and Shop.
I love what you did there.
Tropicana B. Brown.
That was awesome.
That was dope. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is dealing with an injury. Chris Olave. You got all these people. Calvin Ridley. He had a down game. Puka. You picked up Puka, bro.
Wow.
TJ Hawkinson. And then his bench, he got Kareem Hunt, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is probably a top 5 fantasy football quarterback.
He is now.
Wow.
Miles
Sanders, Drake London, Tank Dell, Cooper Kupp. Should I trade Kupp in London for Eckler and Watson? Who the fuck? That's who?
Eckler and Christian Watson, then try for Puka and Ridley for Adams. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't because
Whoa.
I don't know.
No, you do know. You got I like what he did, right? Because he got Cup and then he picked up Puka off the waiver wire. Cup has been out. Puka got hot, and then you did your due diligence, T Money. Kudos to you. So that's dope. And the question is, Cup is coming back.
Mm-hmm. Week 5. They already said it.
If Cup comes back, doesn't the production for Puka go down?
I would say that it will, because Stafford locks in, like him and Cup, the connection that they have.
Yeah, they're like peanut butter and jelly.
Don't see Puka having the same effect that he has now. I also think it's funny because I think Cup is ready to come back, and I think that they're just leaving him out till week 5, because when you say
they
that
never
a player
put him on the IR, right?
Right.
Okay.
When you say that a player is coming back and you know the exact week, that means that player is ready to come back.
Well, I saw Cooper Cup on the sideline, like, damn it, if I was out here, we would have beat these 49ers.
So they're just trying to, it's just all about the precaution. They just want him to be at 100% before he comes back.
Well, here's the thing, PG. I'm not trading Cooper Cup.
Oh, hell no. No.
But he's going to, or trade Cup for Adams. Trade Cup and I would trade Cup in London for Adams. And then you're still going to get catches from Puka. Imagine if Puka starts scoring touchdowns. His numbers are already through the roof. Imagine if he scored touchdowns, Peachy.
Yeah.
This dude is getting you 25
Definitely.
PPR, full PPR points. He's getting you 25 PPR points with 0 touchdowns to his career.
All I'm saying as far as Devontae Adams is,
he got the concussion, but he produces.
Because his quarterback just, I mean, I feel like
Peachy, he still produces. You can say you feel whichever you feel whatever you want. But guess what? In both games, he was producing. He had one of the top receivers week 1 in fantasy football, and then was killing week 2 and got the concussion, had to come out the game.
I know.
So it doesn't matter who his quarterback is.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Cause and remember, he still has Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would sell Puka now while his stock is high. So if you could trade Puka and some other players and try to get like an Adams, I would do it. Because if you get Adams, woo, and then you pair that up to a healthy Cooper Kupp with Calvin Ridley, Chris Olave. Wait a minute, Peach. He got Chris Olave, Calvin Ridley, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. The weakest link on his team is Justin Fields.
There must be like 4 people.
He said there's 8 people in the league.
Oh, it's 8?
Yeah. 8 people in the league.
I think I'm going to do one next year, and I think I'm going to have
No, it's not fun with 8 people because it's too many good players are going to be available. Like 10 is the perfect number. 10. It's King Ahmed says, trade Pittman for Debo PPR. Pittman has been good this year.
Yeah.
Fantasy football. So this might be a good trade. The only thing is like when Debo goes off, he goes off. And so are you cool with 10 to 15, max 20 points? Or like it depends on who else you got, right, Peachy? Like who else do you have as a wide receiver? Because can you live with 5 points, 6 points a week from Debo, but then like 30 points, 35 points? Like, can you live with that?
Yeah.
And if you got another receiver that can do that, that's cool. I don't know if I would trade because I think Debo's gonna get you rushing yards and catches and yards from after the catch.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, I don't know if I would do that.
Right.
They're talking about our brother Fair. Listen, Fair is football coaching
Mm-hmm.
right now, so
Yeah.
he's been inactive with Nitty Gritty. So he's coming back though. Patobo says, should I wait for Jonathan Taylor to come back or use him to trade for someone else? What do you think, Peachy?
Wow. I don't know, because I know that the trade talks apparently are going to start heating back up. Because he can come back after, like, he's due to just come back like week 5. So it just depends on where he gets traded to. And like Breezy mentioned earlier in the show, there's a lot of teams that need running backs. And I just don't believe that he wants to be in Indy. I believe Indy's comfortable with who they have at running back. As a matter of fact, they've been doing pretty decent, and I think they're going to let him go ahead and go somewhere else. So to answer your question, because I also have Jonathan Taylor and I'm running into this dilemma myself, I would try to trade him for someone else.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. Wait. Who else do you have first?
Right. Because it all depends on if you're stacked. Because if you're not stacked, then don't do that.
Because I'm assuming, Peachy, he went running backs heavy and picked up Taylor for this. So if you did do that,
yeah,
then
and you have some really good running backs,
right?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, and then you need to be trying to get you a wide receiver one, because that means that's where you're weak,
right? Wherever you're depleted at,
like I'm
need to go for.
Peachy. I'm sorry, this is tough. This is a hard show for me to do because I'm just looking at my team. And you know me, Peach, I got multiple teams.
Yeah, me too.
And the injuries already are killing me. Ooh. And because everybody suck, I'm low in the totem pole on the waiver wire, and I gotta wait. Like, why couldn't I just get Jerome Ford? Why couldn't he go to me? I was up at the butt crack of dawn, 3:30 a.m. Ain't nobody up at 3:30 a.m. Peachy.
None of that doesn't matter, though.
It doesn't matter, Peachy.
You can put it in at 3:30. If somebody's lower than you and they put it in at 10:30, then they get him.
I'm changing the waiver wire.
It sucks.
Guess what, Peachy? We got a new subscriber to the channel. His name is Captain Joe King. Captain Joe King.
I love that.
I gotta learn how to do that with words. He says, loving the stream, already a sub.
Thank you.
Should I accept the trade offer of A.J. Brown and DJ Moore? Ooh, he's got to give up. For Garrett Wilson, Miles Sanders, and Sam Laporta. Ooh, we're gonna put Peachy on the block. Go ahead.
A.J. Brown is not happy right now in Philadelphia because he's not getting the targets, because his quarterback is not, like, with the new coordinator that they have, his, like, Hurts cannot get on. They're just not on the same page. So A.J. Brown is obviously not in their plans right now at all. But I do foresee Philly getting better. Definitely. God, and then there's DJ Moore stuck in there too. And Chicago is just a hot mess.
They wouldn't be a hot mess if they just give him the damn ball.
Right.
Let him run it. Let DJ Moore just be a star.
They got a lot of crazy stuff going on in Chicago.
They
Garrett
do.
Wilson, Miles Sanders, and Sam Laporta. Man, that's a...
Here's my thing. While you think about this, I don't know how much I loved. So I was high on drafting DJ Moore. What I saw in the preseason, I thought we were gonna get that in the regular season,
absolutely.
And they clearly went away from that game plan in Chicago.
Right.
So,
which is what the problem is.
I'm just saying.
Right.
And so,
yeah. So, let me explain something. Okay, so AJ Brown, being a wide receiver, they've got Devontae Smith, who for some reason stays open.
Well, he's
That's
not.
who.
He's not double covered. So AJ Brown is
Right,
double covered. He's your wide receiver
right.
one. So
But the
like,
thing about it is that AJ's mad because he's basically telling Jalen like it's your you got to find a way to between Hurts and the coordinator, they got to find a way to get AJ involved. They had already got into it on the sideline, and that was not
well,
that was
AJ
not
Brown,
good.
he got to get open. And so
Right.
like, if you're double covered, name one quarterback, one competent quarterback, one IQ quarterback that's gonna throw to a wide receiver in double coverage.
Exactly.
So
Right.
AJ Brown need to shut the freak up and figure out how to get open.
Yeah.
Line up in the slot. Do something different. Like he got to figure it out. So I'm going. If I'm a quarterback and I see them playing man and I see Devontae Smith 1-on-1, I'm throwing it to Devontae Smith. It's
Right.
just common sense. I mean, is it about winning the game or is it about production? And AJ Brown know what time it is. His time will come around. Like, you know what I mean? Like his time will come around. His time will come around. I don't know, man. You're getting a number one wide receiver, but you'll be giving up Garrett Wilson, Miles Sanders, and then the question mark and Sam Laporta, because I feel I'm not high on Miles Sanders. You must got some other running backs. He did have a good game
Yeah.
in Carolina, but I don't know if he's going to be able to give that to us every week.
Right.
And Sam Laporta, I just think who is the Lions offensive coordinator?
I just want to smack him the
Okay.
way that he's not using Gibbs and Laporta and all this stuff. I'm like, why did you want them? Because you're not using them right. But it's a long season. I wouldn't do anything yet. That would be my only thing. I would still have to wait. I would have to wait because you start making these trades too early, and you get around, and then these players start producing, and then you're going, and next thing you know, you're going up against somebody who has all the players that you had.
Yeah.
That are producing. So I think that I would give it some time, but
how much time? Because
right.
yeah, that's the. I mean, trades don't last forever. And then people change their minds. You gotta love the trade. I don't love it.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I think you got more value in Garrett Wilson. You got an extra running back, and you got a tight end that I think is going to blossom at some point this season.
Some point, the Lions have got to figure it out.
Yeah,
and they got to start getting these players involved. So
I like when we get the questions. I
I do
suggest you
too.
for life.
Thank you guys for the questions.
Talking all the
Those
trash.
those are
in
awesome.
the chat. That's what I
Yeah,
know
we
about
already
Peachy. He
know.
says they're not arguing. He expected me to say that. Yeah, this is what he says. I expect comments like that from Breezy because sometimes Breezy forget to take his meds and be on that ish.
Okay, but they literally, were like on the Eagles content creators because my son's a Eagles fan. They he was upset because he wasn't getting targeted, and Jalen Hurts told him on the sideline,
I think that's normal. I'm
gonna get you involved. So AJ was messed up. I didn't say that. They were all arguing. I said AJ was upset on the sideline because Andy Reid had to calm him, or not Andy Reid, Lord have mercy. What's his Nick? What? Sirianni or whatever,
Yeah.
had to get in between them and calm him down because he was getting heated. So, but I'm sure that by the time that they play the Niners, they'll be all oiled up and ready. They'll be flowing like whatever because we played them really late in the season.
Week 13, ladies and gentlemen. Jack says, should I get Brock P now or wait?
I didn't know you was playing fantasy, Jax. That's awesome.
I would never draft. Brock Purdy wouldn't be a quarterback on my team ever.
No.
He's not a fantasy quarterback. He's an efficient NFL quarterback that's only going to put up 200 yards a game, possibly a few TDs. So That's not going to do it in fantasy football.
It's gonna be too up and down. Like you're never gonna know, like what's gonna happen.
I don't think he's ever going to be up. I think he's stuck, like in that 200 yards, which is what 8 points.
Right.
Right.
He's never gonna be like one of the
Yeah, but then again, I could be wrong because right now I'm watching C.J. Stroud outscore Patrick Mahomes. Let that shit sink in. Like that's killing me right now. Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't do it. All right, so there's your injuries. They've been scrolling on the bottom of the screen for right now. Let's talk about the top 10 fantasy scorers, the fantasy leaders per Fantasy Pros. Daniel Jones. Wait a minute. This is why they want me to start him. I didn't see this.
Fantasy Pros has Daniel Jones as the
What?
As the top one.
31.7. No wonder they keep saying start Daniel Jones. Do they know he's playing the 49ers defense?
Right, because that's not going to be his stats after
Jesus
this
Christmas.
Thursday night football game. That's what he just had against the Cardinals.
Look at the number 2.
That's different.
Keenan Allen.
That's my dude.
Man, fuck Keenan Allen.
If I could get Keenan Allen in every single league, I would.
Every year.
Because he's
then why didn't you draft him?
I did draft him. That's what I'm saying. I have him in like a bunch of my leagues.
He has not been constant, PG. You be making up shit. Last year, he was trash. He couldn't get healthy, couldn't stay injured. That's why they drafted Quentin Johnson. Let's keep it a buck.
Well,
right?
But as you see in Herbert, going back to Old Faithful because that's
because he's the route runner and he's the guy that should be able to get open. And if he can stay healthy, he's good. But it's a big if. Week 2 of the season looks good.
He does.
Guy I stay away from. Will he be able to produce again? We'll have to see. I think from when you look at the Chargers, their issue right now is not having Eckler. And I didn't realize how dynamic Eckler is to the Chargers as CMC is to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Like they're that dynamic. James? Who the hell is James? Who was I? I was willing to take James. Who's James?
I don't know who he's talking about.
You talking about Garoppolo? I didn't take no damn Jimmy.
You can't be
Garoppolo.
talking about Jimmy G.
I don't know. It won't be me.
But
4 interceptions, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. He's just messing with you.
He said James G. He ain't on none of my teams.
Yeah.
But
talking about Jimmy. So then third we have Puka Nacua.
Which I think if Matthew Stafford plays the type of football that he played the last 2 weeks, Puka is going to continue to dominate.
Oh yeah.
If he's healthy.
Right. And then number 4 was Mike Evans.
Now, see, that's an old faithful.
Mm-hmm.
That's my old faithful. I don't like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. It's always going to be Mike Evans. The only reason why, Peachy, I tried to stay away from Mike Evans was because of Baker Mayfield. And my dumb ass. I got him in one league. I was able to get him in one of my leagues.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is old faithful. So Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, they're your old yellers of the wide receivers in the game. Finally,
and number 5, Brian Robinson.
Yeah, I drafted him. I overlooked him to get Antonio Gibson because I thought that they were going to try to pass the ball a lot more.
I did too.
With their running backs.
Yeah.
That's Antonio Gibson's strong suit.
Yep.
But Brian Robinson, that man.
That one.
Shout out, and can we give him a shout out for the simple fact, PG? This dude was shot.
Yes.
And came back in
That's right.
same season he was shot. Like they tried to murder him.
Came back like he never left.
Like
he was
a rookie. He was a rookie.
Right.
He didn't even start yet.
Right. He came back balling too. So then after Brian Robinson, we have T. Higgins.
About damn time.
Well, that made me mad, but whatever. Because for some reason, T. Higgins can be open all day, but Jamar Chase gets the doubles.
PG, he get the doubles.
That's the Burrow can't get to him.
Because he's doing the doubles. Unless
another disgruntled receiver who
unless
came
those
out.
wide receivers run underneath routes to get open, the quarterback's not going to throw it to him. It's just common sense.
So he basically called the coaching out and Burrow out and was saying that he needs to just throw it down the field and let him basically make plays. That he's not throwing it down the field to him and he doesn't have any opportunities. And so Chase did come out and actually voice that and say that he needs to throw it down the field and, let his receivers do what they do.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that really was crazy. Probably so far the biggest bust has got to be Burrow and Chase. And that I never thought that I would
but
see that.
It starts with the quarterback though.
I know.
But then the quarterback is going to throw to the bigger target, the guy that's winning his one-on-one matchups.
Yeah.
Remember and if I'm not mistaken, week 1 T Higgins had 8 targets but couldn't catch a ball.
Right.
But I didn't watch the game to see where the targets were. Were they high? Right. Were they low? Were they outside? Just because they were targeted don't mean they were good passes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just it just frustrates me really bad. That whole situation frustrates me so bad. They just need to get their crap together. The number 7 is Kirk Cousins.
Captain Kirk.
Yep, doing great. Enough said. Number 8, Kyron Williams.
Now that's a pickup. We told y'all to pick him up last week.
Sure did.
Now I told you to pick him up, but don't play him. I was wrong.
But we did tell you to pick him up.
But we did tell you to pick him up. Listen, I didn't think first of all, let me tell you what. I was right about the 49ers not giving up 100 yards. They did not. They didn't give up 100 rushing yards, period. But what happened was he caught a screen touchdown.
Yes.
He caught a pass, and then he was able to rush it in from the goal line. And what I did say was if the Niners let him get to the goal line, they will score.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Rams they got a good enough offensive line for that.
Yeah, and then number 9 is Nico Collins.
Yo, sleeper. That's the sleeper.
It is. Really is.
Yo, he is available in just about every freaking league except for the ones that I'm in.
People are sleeping on Nico.
Go Blue! Sorry, I throw that out there.
Which is so hilarious that a Buckeye, his best target is a Wolverine.
Listen, they've been in the Big Ten for a minute together.
Oh, yeah.
What was his name? Stroud was probably a freshman at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nico was on his way out. It's like this kid gonna be nice. Nah, but seriously, that's been his go-to. And now he's starting to get Tank Dell involved. So
Speaking of number 10 is Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. Yeah, Saquon, said we're gonna win this game.
Right. Which is probably how he got hurt, Breezy. Because he literally won the game for them. He brought them back. They were down by 20-something points and he brought them all the way back. And that's probably how he got hurt because he was doing too much. Because nothing was happening but Saquon. Every time you turn around, Saquon's running. Saquon's running for a touchdown. He just was running his leg in the ground and that's what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what happened.
But those are your top 10 week 2 fantasy scores per fantasy pros. Let's go with these risers, Peachy, because these are some guys that you might have had. And so this is why I'm stuck. Do I start that high scoring Daniel Jones or do I start the riser? Is Russell Wilson back? That's my question. Is he back? 26.9 point standard in PPR.
If Sean Payton allows Russ to do what Russ wants to do, Russ is back. But if he keeps trying to keep him in that pocket and do all this stuff he's got to do, no. Because you got to let Russ be Russ. And I know Sean Payton is we got to cut down on the verbiage of these plays. So he's trying to dumb this offense down which is hilarious to even hear about because Russ is there. But He's trying to dumb this offense down so that there's not that many words being used, verbiage, none of that stuff. He just wants to keep it as
Are you
simple
serious?
as possible.
You're telling me Russ is dumb?
Sean Payton thinks he is.
Wow, Sean. Sean got to go. Like, wow.
Sean Payton looked up and said, "This is not Drew Brees."
The issue with Russell Wilson is he's used to, like, Russell Wilson needs to be a 49er. And I know that sounds crazy, but he needs to be on a team that defense is going to help support him and get him the ball back, work with short fields, all those different types of things.
Right.
Russell Wilson, to me, is still a dynamic quarterback.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to turn him into the cerebral,
exactly.
Brainiac, whatever. And I don't think he's not.
They're trying to turn him into a freaking pocket passer, and that's why I say that Sean Payton's got to realize he doesn't have Drew Brees, and he should have known that before he took this job. You got to let Russ be Russ. Let Russ cook whatever he does. You got to do that. And Sean Payton is stuck with that. And he's got to do that. He's got to let Russ be Russ. He's got to let him move out in the pocket when nothing's open. He's got to let him be mobile. Like, he's got to let him do all these things that Russ does because, right.
That's a team right there.
Because
that's a team.
It's a mistake, and Peyton is overthinking this situation so much because Russ is not a pocket, he's not a pocket, like a pure pocket passer is what he's not. And that's what I think Sean Payton's trying to turn him into that.
Oh, well, keep trying.
But you can't do that with Russ.
Denver be trying to draft that quarterback.
So another riser that we have on here next is Raheem Mostert. As you guys know, he's on the Dolphins, and his stats went up. His fantasy points went up a lot this week. So they like what they're seeing from Raheem. So we'll see what we got going on there. Then we have, I believe, Desmond Ridder is next. The Falcons quarterback. He had a much better week than he had last week. And some of these, it just has to do with the matchups, but I think Ritter's getting more comfortable now. And when you have a young quarterback, you gotta let them do something. They gotta get comfortable and fit in. I skipped one. CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Which was also the best quarterback of week 2. And also one of the biggest risers on fantasy. So if you can pick up CJ and you need a backup quarterback.
I'm not picking up no CJ.
So when
Stroud.
your quarterback, like I said, if you need a backup quarterback when your quarterback is on the bye, and if you can get CJ, I would pick up CJ.
My advice.
He's just getting better.
My advice is, if you need a quarterback during that bye, find out which quarterback has the best advantage that may be available as a starting quarterback. You pick up CJ Stroud and he playing the Niners, which I know he's not, but he's playing one of them tough defenses. That ain't the week you're going to want to start him. You know what I'm trying to say? So, pay attention to your bye for one, and the bye of the quarterback and that team that they're playing.
Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to want to do. So, yeah.
Then we have DeAndre Swift.
Did you just cut me off? I wasn't even finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm talking about CJ Stroud. He had one good week of quarterbacking.
I know you're bad mouthing.
I'm not bad mouthing him.
Quarterback.
What I'm saying is be wise. I just sat here and at the very beginning of the show and asked which quarterback should I take, and then what did we do? We looked at the matchups, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you want to do the same thing with these quarterbacks. We're trying to give people good advice. So you want to make sure that, he might have played really good against the Colts, which was weird because their defense is pretty damn good, but they still lost the game. And so, at the end of the day, Find out who he's playing the week of your bye. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention to the matchup. There might be other quarterbacks that have easier advantages. I'm the type of person now, like even with the defenses, man, I don't think defense is anything I'm trying to draft anymore because I'm just going to find out the mismatch defense that's chilling. Don't act like people don't do it. They do this. Same thing even with the kicker. They will find, all right, this kicker playing here. This defense is playing against this offense. That offense is going to struggle. Yeah. They do it. So if this, I'm just saying, like, depending on, like, if you're in like a 10-team league, you might not draft 2 quarterbacks. You might be stuck on that 1 quarterback until the bye week. Like Peachy said, if he's available, you might want to pick him up, but pay attention to see how he continues to do throughout the year. He is available in most leagues. I will say that.
Yeah. Then our last one is Rachaad White.
Can't believe Rachaad White was on my bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's because Tampa don't ever run the ball.
I know. But I think that they're finding something with this kid, so I think he's gonna be running the ball quite a bit for him. So
I hope you're right. I hope I hope you're right about 2 running backs on this list. Swift and White. Please use them. And if any Lion fans out there are watching this show, I want to know how you feel about the non-utilization of Jahmyr Gibbs.
Right.
Because I'm watching Bijan Robinson cook, and I know Gibbs can cook. I know he can cook.
Did you watch that Bijan video?
No.
Oh, my God.
What was it?
It's like a video breakdown of that one that he had where he was like ducking and
way he
reading
cut?
everything. Man,
Yep. He looked like a human joystick. That's his nickname.
Wow.
He's a human joystick. He was doing it. He was doing it on one leg, Peach. Like he was running, planted the one leg, did the duck, pop, weave. Like he was boxing but running.
Just breaking ankles.
Yeah. Like he was boxing but running. I'm like, what?
Yes. Absolutely.
What? We got to give Brandon the air horn loves because he said he subscribed to the channel and we appreciate.
Thank you.
And this is when he came and he was like,
oh no.
I watched the Niners versus Giants Madden.
Oh Lord.
That video hurt my feelings, bro. I'm about to take it down and do it over right before the game. I don't like it. Not because we lost. Right, Peachy?
Right.
It's how we lost.
Yes. It was really crazy how we lost. It really, really was crazy how we lost.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
any
absolutely.
Lions fans out there, go tell Dan Campbell it's okay to punt the ball on 4th down. Yo, has he gone for it on every 4th down so far this season? Like Dan Campbell,
I think so.
is just a risk taker. Like he's on that Nick Sirianni stuff right now.
I don't know. He's kind of like I wish Kyle would be sometimes.
Well, Kyle this year has been pretty aggressive on 4th downs.
He has been better, I guess, in that one interview that he had that was on 95.7 The Game or whatever, and he talks about how he's learned some things, and it's crazy because we were trying to beg Kyle to learn a whole bunch of things, and he's admitted that he had to look in the mirror. He had to analyze some things. So he's definitely playing a lot better. Definitely is playing a lot better. So we got to give him that.
I like Dan Campbell. I feel like he would be one of the type of coaches I would want to play for.
Yeah.
But he would be the first coach I curse out.
I'm sure that they do both. I
don't know, PJ. I think they're scared of him because he looked like a bodybuilder. But you like a world's strongest man type guy. But you know why I would curse him out? Because the stuff that his offense does is making no sense. I like Jared Goff. I like what we're seeing from Goff. But you got to utilize Sam Laporta. You got to utilize these rookies, man. They in the NFL. You drafted them in the 1st round for a reason, right, Peachy?
Right.
Right. That's what I thought. Kenny, Stray, Trill. Start one, full PPR, Njoku or Hunter Henry. I feel like, I'll let you go first.
Both of these are making me mad.
Well, Hunter Henry is having this like resurgence in New England. He was supposed to do this last year, but he's doing good this year. And Njoku had a good week 1, then they stopped giving him.
Right.
But you know what? In Cleveland, once they lost Chubb.
Yeah.
You know what it is, Peachy, for me?
Mm.
I trust Mac Jones over Watson. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So I would go with Hunter Henry. And I got Njoku. I thought I was sneakily grabbing a nice tight end. And he's nice, but the quarterback is not good this year.
Right. Thank you to all the people that are coming in here and hanging with us. We appreciate it. Eddie G, thank you very much. We
Peachy,
appreciate it.
All right, let's have some fun before we get up out of here because we're at our hour mark. Who do you think is going to be the top scorer this week of fantasy football?
Oh, man.
Is it going to be a quarterback? Is it going to be a receiver? Week 1, it was Tyreek Hill. Last week, you just told me that it was Daniel motherfreaking Jones. Like, who would it be this year? Would it be a running back this week? Would it be a tight end?
I think it'll be a wide receiver and.
So going back to the wide receivers, does Tyreek Hill come back? Does Jamar Chase finally get his game? Does Justin Jefferson, who's been...
We don't even know if Jamar Chase is going to have his quarterback. So
like you said, according to Jamar Chase, it don't need to be Burrow.
That's a good point. I think it's going to be a wide receiver. I'm not counting on Chase, and they're playing the Rams, so I'm not.
But the Rams defense isn't like that good.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be Chase. You're right, GSU for life. He's not doing anything. But it's not his fault because he's got to be able to get the ball. He can't get the ball. And he never had any more. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think... I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm actually going to give it to a 49er this week. And I think that it's going to be Deebo Samuel. I think he's going to have a field day against this Giants team.
Interesting.
So I think that the top
on a Thursday night,
receiver,
we're going to have a big scorer.
Could be Deebo.
And on a Thursday
I think he's going to have like go for like 150, 160. I'm telling you.
Oh. Okay.
I just have this feeling. that Deebo's going to go off tomorrow.
I could dig it. I could dig
Deebo
it.
loves going off in primetime. And I think he's going to have a huge primetime game.
I'm going to go with a tight end.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with tight end 1, period. I think Mahomes and the Kelsey connection finally, and after 3 weeks, they figure some stuff out.
Right.
This will be Kelsey's actual second game back.
That would be
I think
good.
he got his legs under him. I think Kelsey has a big game, a big week this week. So I'm going to go with Travis Kelsey. And I miss it. I miss the Travis Kelsey 40-point fantasy football.
Oh, me too. Trust me.
Oh, my gosh.
Me too.
You know what I mean? So
I miss it too.
I'm going to go with Kelsey. You're going with Deebo. I love it.
Breezy, there is nothing wrong with that because they play Chicago this week. So it's a possibility.
Did you know what I did? I paid
Kelsey.
attention to the matchup. I found the weakest match.
It could be Kelsey and Mahomes.
Listen, if you got those two as a combo, start them.
Wow.
Start them.
Yes, I do, GSU. I do remember getting mad whenever people talk bad about Jennings. But they're not talking bad about him now.
I bet you they not. He caught that first damn
That's
down
right.
pass. You know what I'm saying? But nah, seriously, this is going to be fun. Like we got, after week 2, you got Breezy ready to quit. And I got to go and figure out how to manage all 13 of these teams. That's what I got to go through. So I'm getting off. We are signing off. What's Your Fantasy will be back next Wednesday night, same time, 8 p.m. And maybe I won't be as bitter. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
All right.
make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Have your alerts set to on and all so you don't miss an episode of your favorite show.
Yep.
Have you noticed what we're doing? This is like a network. We got football shows. We got
Yes.
all NFL shows. We got a fantasy show. We got my personal Wayne Breezy show. We got the Nitty Gritty Niners show.
Yep.
We got shows.
We do. Check this out. So tomorrow at 6 p.m.
This is for you, GSU for Life 1.
Eastern time, we have a special preview show with a very important Giants content creator that is going to come on the show. So that should be a lot of fun. The Rams one was really good. So
Yo, what is your first name, yo? I want to call you Gary. I don't know why. I just think you're a Gary, but I want to know what the first name is. Hit me with the first name.
maybe
it
it's
says
Gerald or something.
Gerald, GSU. What is that? I want to know.
There's
let
no
us
talent.
know. Yeah.
Oh,
You've been
wait.
here forever.
It doesn't stand for Georgia State University, does it? I don't know where he's from.
I don't know.
GSU, because I know that's Georgia State University. Oh, more advice. Watch the players
He
that
said
you
nope.
start for the Bears.
I want to
They got
start
a lot
DJ
of
Moore,
turmoil
but
that's going on in Chicago.
the Bears should quit this season. They should.
They really
forfeit
need
this
to. They
season.
need to just forfeit the season.
If you guys aren't following the news with the Bears,
Woo.
I'm sorry, but it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad over there. They literally lost their defensive coordinator.
They didn't
So
lose them.
that's
The
why-
defensive coordinator did some dumb shit.
No, but what I'm talking about, like fantasy wise, when we were talking about Kelsey and Mahomes, I was just saying that it should be like both of them may be the top fantasy hitters this week.
Yo,
They should be able to throw.
Start.
all over
Hold
the
up,
place.
PG. I got you. You ready? Start Kadarius Toney. Start Isaiah Pacheco. Start
Start
whole
all the
damn
Chiefs you
Kansas
can.
City. Start Alex. Start everybody. Start
'Cause-
their past. Start their future. Get Christian Okoye. Start whoever you can from the Kansas City Chiefs this week.
Yes, GSU for life. That's exactly what happened. So anybody that doesn't know, this is turmoil like on 1,000. Like this is not just your average whatever. This is some serious felony business.
Yeah, it is.
So-
We'll talk about it on a different show.
Yes,
but listen,
absolutely.
start the whole Kansas City Chiefs. All right. Until
Yes.
then, we'll see y'all next week on What's Your Fantasy, baby. We out, y'all. Peace.
Hey, look. Ruining dreams under pressure. Peachy be the one to bless ya, but don't test her. The queen reigns supreme, you know what I mean? Add the boy Breezy, Prince, like a king. When the two come together in any weather, they form a bond, stay tight in any measure. So it's my pleasure. The #1 team, let the world know what's your fantasy.